So this makes it worse, but like the problem with these foreign investors is they're not really investing their own money.
Yeah.
So like the risk reward ratio is way out of whack for them. Yeah, I mean, does BlackRock care if they're just losing, California's pension funds in China? I mean, are they gonna get in trouble
But
for
even
it?
BlackRock recently, I think just either last month or this month, came out with a report that is like, yeah, the risk between like a US-China conflict is actually very high, higher than with like Russia and North Korea.
Oh, but they could be saying that to try to de-escalate, right?
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
this was like for investors. So maybe there is even like it's kind of getting into even BlackRock's world. Like, hey, maybe a conflict is coming. Maybe this could be a problem. I'm not holding my breath, but it does seem like if ever there was a time for like the investment to not come back into China, like I think if there had been that big COVID rebound in China, it would have happened.
Like if all by COVID rebound you mean like all the economy comes
The
roaring back,
economy
et
comes
cetera.
back from
Okay.
COVID. Yeah, if it had really been like, oh wow, yeah, everything's roaring back, lots of money to be made, then it probably would have happened.
Right,
But I
but
think
there's a chicken and egg element here, which is that part of the reason China's economy can't roar back is because there isn't as much foreign investment in China, which is why the Chinese economy can't roar back, which is why there's less foreign investment in China.
But also, I mean, it's the CCP's own fault for doing things like
Being evil.
I haven't seen a goatee.
how do we know?
You're right. I'm just speculating.
Full screen Xi Jinping with a goatee on fire.
Is the goatee made of fire?
It's the goatee of fire.
I did not see that this is where the podcast was going to go. But,
Where did you think it was going to go when it was just the three of us, Shelley?
I forgot in the pocket, dimension. Yeah.
Time travels
And
differently.
you came back just for this.
Yes, just specifically for this podcast.
But let me make an analogy that I haven't made before. It's like there's an elephant in the room. We still don't know how many people have died from COVID in China. This is a big mystery. And there's like really some disturbing statistics. Recently, Zhejiang province released some statistics about cremation. And it was up like 73% from like the previous 2 years. In fact, when people were like, hey, that's a big increase in cremation at the beginning of 2023 when zero COVID was rolled back quite suddenly. And then they scrubbed everything from that. And now like
I'm sure it was just like a calculation error.
Yeah. Well, now
Rounding error.
local governments are not reporting cremation statistics anymore. And so like the big question is like, really, we have no idea how many people there really even are in China anymore. And that could be having a big impact on the economy. Like, is part of the reason the economy didn't come roaring back is because there's just not enough people to go back to the restaurants and the movies and the jobs.
But then you'd think the unemployment numbers would be better.
Yeah, but also like when a business, when like people who are, have small businesses or whatever, those get shut down. Like little restaurants get closed down, or those people pass away. Like that's reducing employment opportunities, right? So the widespread destruction of small business across China's economy during zero COVID, mostly due to the policy, but maybe also partly due to people dying, is what has a huge impact on employment. I mean, in most countries, most of the jobs are in small businesses, right? And so the Communist Party made a huge mistake by curtailing small business, as did every other government. But
because every other government was like, wow, China's very successful. Look at their numbers. We should implement their policies.
Yeah, but no country did it as much as China.
Despite the New York Times really suggesting that maybe freedom was interfering in effective COVID policies.
Yes. Well, it's okay to curtail people's freedom as long as it's other people and not you.
You know what? Should the New York Times have a goatee? Full screen, front page of the New York Times, big old goatee. Now we know.
Real estate companies are collapsing in on themselves because of massive debt. People can't find jobs. U.S. companies are pulling out of China. So, yeah, the Communist Party is not in a great situation right now.
You know what will fix things? Purges.
All right, because that is going on. Top officials, Qingang disappearing for some reason.
I'm sure
Weird
that's
purges
just
of
an
the rocket
isolated
force.
case,
The
Chris.
rocket force is interesting because that was considered like the most modernized, like with it branch of the People's Liberation Army. Like that was the one that, like, you know, I know people we've talked to have been like, oh yeah, this is actually the branch to watch out for, not like the, you know, cannon fodder of just the ground troops.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this recent purge, it's very interesting what's going on. Xi Jinping obviously feels like he can't trust anyone, and I feel bad for him.
I feel like paranoid dictators. That really
that works out
What
well.
does the Fall of Civilization podcast say about that?
Paranoid. Well, the nice thing is it's usually so far in the past that they're not really paranoid dictators so much as, you know, god kings.
Okay.
So paranoid god kings.
Yes. Qin Shi Huang really shouldn't have had so much mercury in his diet.
But I do believe he had a goatee.
They should have known. They should have known.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just that Xi Jinping is in a difficult situation because, like, he's maybe making bad decisions, but that's also because he may not be getting all the information. Like, it's easy in the West to think, oh, China's hiding its, you know, unemployment numbers. It's hiding its economic slump. It's hiding the COVID deaths. But they're not just hiding it from the West. They're hiding it from themselves, because it's not like the Xi Jinping knows everything and then is telling everyone to cover up those things. It's that when the information that Xi Jinping gets is coming up from the provinces, from the cities. And if those local officials are covering things up, then Xi Jinping is just not going to get accurate
Gotta
information.
interrupt that idea, because one of the pieces of the party propaganda is there is no problem with the central government. It's always like these local officials that lie and cover things up. And what has come out over time with particularly COVID is that no, the central government knew what was going on and was in on the cover up. Xi Jinping. So I'm just saying, yeah.
No,
I
totally agree with that. It's not that that Xi Jinping doesn't have any clue what's going on, but like
everyone's incentivized to cover their own butts.
Lie. So what I'm saying is he's not going to be able to get accurate information. He should know a general sense of what's happening, but he's not going to be able to get, like, you can't get real unemployment data from Heilongjiang province.
It's like nobody wants to tell the paranoid dictator, hey, things are going good.
Especially if it's like, things aren't going good in my province. But he's also getting information from all the other provinces that are going to, like, lie in their reports. So you don't want to be that one province, that one, you know, governor or party secretary this is how
Chernobyl happened.
That show has a lot to teach.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. I hear it was based on a real event.
I miss this in the pocket dimension.
They don't have me in the pocket dimension?
You don't want to know, Chris.
Oh. Oh, what is the elephant in the room doing? Well, I think on that note, what a perfect place to end this podcast. The Chinese Communist Party will collapse in 42 days.
That's
question mark?
Longer
question
than a month.
mark? Longer. I changed my analysis.
Okay.
Based on actual information. You
there
see,
we go.
my expert. Yeah.